I'd like to call this regular city council meeting of November 24th, 2014 to order, and we would like to start with the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call shows all are present. Review the minutes, approval of the minutes of November 10.
Move the minutes.
I have one correction, and that was on the last page. On comments, I stated that it says that I stated we're over 180 acres over there in Volunteer Park. It's actually, I said over 100, so it's 100 acres.
Wish we had 180 acres.
Hmm?
I said I wish we had 180
Yeah, it'd be
acres.
nice if we had the 180. We have, I'm not sure what it is, but we developed, it's around 130, I think, counting the developed part. Outside of that, is there anything else on that?
I'll move the minutes as amended.
You already got a motion and a second.
Well, there wasn't a, okay, never mind.
Did you say as amended?
Okay. As amended, all right.
I'll second them as amended. Don, good job on them.
Yeah.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? There's no bills to have to deal with, that's good. Doesn't mean they're not out working on it, though. Approval of the agenda, additions, deletions.
Would like to add an executive session at the end of new business
Mr. Mayor?
for attorney-client privilege.
Mr. Mayor? This
Yes.
would be a closed session to discuss a written legal opinion pursuant to Section 8H of the Open Meetings Act.
Let's do it after council.
Yeah, after council comments.
I'll move the agenda as amended.
Second.
Okay, for discussion, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Public comment. Anybody wishes to speak at this time on an item that's not listed on the agenda?
Isn't this part of?
And state your name, address.
Hi, my name's Kelly Smith. My address is 1102 Gallup Lane. I'm the new chairperson of the Cultural Arts Commission. So we just came by today to kind of give a formal announcement. We already kind of let Ted know and Lynn know, but South Lyon has been selected as one of the host cities to host the DIA Inside Out program in 2015.
Good.
So it's something that's really exciting. Go ahead and hand them out. So we went to a reception Thursday evening where they announced the cities that would host. This little packet that we quickly made up for you shows literature from last year's program. So this is kind of what it will look like again next year, except we'll be included as obviously one of the host cities. And a fun sticker from there, just some media that they had available. So we were also selected for the summer season, which was our first choice for a few different reasons, because we thought it might be nice to overlap Pumpkin Fest, because that's kind of like one of our largest festivals. Also to maybe give the teachers a little bit of time over the summer to brainstorm and for the kids to sort of see things popping up so that we can incorporate this into the curriculum in a bunch of different fashions when school starts back up. And then as well, so we can have more time to plan more programs to execute.
Do we know what piece of art we're gonna get?
We don't know yet. That's all going to fall into place in the next month or two. On Thursday's reception night, we were given the chance to meet the program director and all of the people that work to execute the Inside Out program, so the guy that does all their media. So we'll be given lots of media like this. Like, we'll also be given our own map that just shows where the pieces are in our town. And then we also got to meet the gal who does the scouting and the site visits. So we'll be meeting with her soon, showing her all the options of places that we're suggesting that pieces go. And then they have it down to an exact science where they can say, yep, nope, this is perfect. And so they'll let us know what they think. They'll tell us which pieces we'll be getting.
Those pieces?
Yes, we'll be getting anywhere from 7 to 12.
Wow.
And we're hoping that the more organized we are and the more approval that we have, because obviously we have to get approval from the building owners when we hang on buildings that are not public. I do also hope to put some freestanding pieces, perhaps in Paul Baker, and maybe one in the Historic Village. And I talked to Bob about this, I believe they do all the work as far as the installation goes. Some of them that are freestanding are on sunk posts, but they just like for maybe like a liaison with the city to be there to make sure everything's, we don't tap into the wrong, dig a hole where we're not supposed to dig a hole. Right, and so the pieces they select, they're from a list of 80 pieces. It's a kind of a short list because they're only things that are in the DIA's permanent collection, as well as the fact that they're pieces that are allowed to be replicated. So you can sort of go on the website and see a lot of the images. Also, the DIA obviously has a website and a Facebook, but the Inside Out program has its own Facebook page that shows all kinds of great pictures showing installations in other cities. And so we already, before we filled out the application, got in contact with all different kinds of other groups and organizations in the city to start to put our list together of possible programming ideas and people who wanted to partner with us, but that list can go on and on. So our card and information is on there. Our group, the Arts Commission, has our own website that you can link to the Wix site off the city page. We also have a Facebook. Feel free to contact us, call us, email us, to give us any ideas. And the purpose of this is to enrich the community, bring culture here, to bring educational programs, and to write and execute as many of them as we can while we get them, which the time frame will be, they'll be installed at the very end of July, and they'll hang for August, September, October, and then come up, they'll be deinstalled in November.
Cool.
Great, thank you.
Thank
Do you
you.
guys have any questions?
No,
Well, thank you.
Just a comment, I think that Wixom had that last year, so you can see, essentially you can see how they present them in the downtown area. So it's
Yep.
Very cool.
My name is Ken Mahalik, and I'm 939 West Hills Drive. And I just want to say, this is a really exciting thing for all of us. We really like the support of the community as well as, obviously, the board here. And, I think that we try to work as a team, and I think this is going to be good for everybody.
And it should be noted that only 8 or 9 communities get this award each year, so thank you for all your diligence and hard work.
Thank you. Our
Thank you.
commission worked hard to put forth what we think was a winning application. It was an essay sort of form, and we think that's what tilted the scale. And the fact that we're in Oakland County, which is one of the counties that supports the millage. So any Oakland County resident at any time gets free open admission to the DIA, so.
Oh, is that true? Okay.
Yeah, and we're working on a press release right now. So
There was a formal press release put out on Thursday by the DIA that does state our name. If anybody wants a copy of that, I have it.
But we're going to work on ours as well.
This is real nice in that when this whole thing had been conceived, this was one of the applications that we were hoping to see spring from it, that there would be art posted throughout the city. So this is
Well,
a
we hope
terrific
that this will
application.
show you that instituting us as a commission, that this is one of the things that is now going to start being accomplished, because you have a group of professionals who are diligent and really care about the arts and the tapestry of the community and weaving culture into our daily lives. So putting us on as a commission, I hope that you'll start to see that it's all coming to fruition.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi there. My address is 1140 Vassar, and I would just like to introduce myself to the council and also the city of South Lyon. My name is Kristen Warfel, and I'm the fitness director of Team NutriFit. And we would just like, my sister is the nutrition director, so she is the dietitian, and I am a registered, she's a registered dietitian. I'm a certified personal trainer. So we have an extensive background in fitness and nutrition, and we work in various communities in the area, but we've been South Lyon residents since 6th grade. So we're very, South Lyon is near and dear to our heart. We just wanted to introduce ourselves and kind of give our contact information to everyone. If there's any events, we volunteered our time at lots of events in different communities that we've been asked to volunteer at, as far as some of their 5Ks or their walk runs, festivals, and warming up the kids and getting groups going and kind of doing that sort of volunteer work. So if there's anything that South Lyon needs help with, I just wanted to introduce myself and offer our time and our services to the community.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
You've got a few flyers there that can be actually left on our table of flyers, probably. Brochures. Well, we have a table of brochures, if you wanted to, we could put a few there, too.
Oh, great.
You can give them to her,
Thank
the
you.
clerk there, and she'll.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Dennis Dobransky. I live at 729 Kestrel Court. And our property is at the top of the cul-de-sac, which is going to be subject to new development, which I understand is called Oakland 40, or Knolls of South Lyon. And we lost the battle, I guess, of not having our cul-de-sac opened up to be a throughway, a second entrance into this development. But I learned recently that a vote was recently taken to post no parking signs in front of our home. My wife and I have been residents there for 23 years. We have 2 adult daughters that both have cars. They have their boyfriends come over. We have family come over, and we're being told, well, you can park down the street. Well, I have parents that are in their 80s. I mean, I don't know, I'm supposed to run a shuttle service for them or not. But I was also of the understanding there's a second option to just remove the island that's in the middle of the cul-de-sac, and a poll of our neighbors that would be affected by this no parking ordinance all are in agreement to take out the island, which makes more sense rather than having the through traffic trying to go around the circle. So I just wanted to express my concerns and my opinion of this development going forward, and to remove the island versus posting no parking, which makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever.
Okay.
Thanks for your input.
Thank you.
Actually, we're going to be discussing that in number 2, old business. We really needed that commentary at that time, but you got it out to us, so thank you.
Okay, thank you.
That's the executives.
Ryan Lear, 716 Grand Court. I was made aware that one of our council members were going around and talking to the citizens, which obviously they have a right to do, but would have liked to have been informed of that, and would have liked to have been able to offer my opinion regarding the fact that I live in Grand Court and the fact that my subdivision buds up to the Knolls of South Lyon. I would have liked to have been, I feel that since both of those cul-de-sacs are affected, you could have talked to all of the neighbors in that 2 subdivisions, which I found out nobody was talked to, and I felt that information should have gotten the information from all of the residents in this area, in that area, because we're all affected, and we all should have our opinion as registered voters and lifelong, members of the South Lyon community. Thank you.
Anybody else wish to speak? Okay, we can move on to old business. Consider resolution for designation of a street administrator. Lynn?
As we were filling out the paperwork for our Act 51 funding, we realized that when the council designated me as the street administrator this summer, we didn't do it as a formal resolution. We have to have the formal resolution done in order to get that Act 51 funding. So you have in front of you the resolution that was provided by the state from MDOT. We need to take formal action and approve the resolution so that we can finalize the documentation.
I move that we make Lynn the, excuse me, the street administrator according to the resolution officially.
I'll support.
Further discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. And now, consider request for approval of plan development agreement between the City of South Lyon and Oakland 40 Group LLC regarding Knolls of South Lyon. Tim?
Mayor Wallace and council, I've had a conversation with the developer regarding this, and I have provided comments back to the developer's attorney. I've not heard back. It's my understanding he's out of town until after the Thanksgiving holiday. The developer has no objection to essentially pushing this another meeting to the December 8 meeting to allow his attorney and myself to work through additional comments and further finalize the agreement.
Okay. Somebody want to make that
I'll move
motion?
to postpone to the December 8th meeting.
Bit of support. Further discussion?
I'd like to, Mr. Mayor.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's some residents here today, and I think there should be here kind of a little bit of discussion about this before we just postpone this. So if I could, just kind of ask a few questions, that would satisfy me. So when you contacted the developer, was it talked about this additional, or removing the cul-de-sac? Was that brought up in
Yes.
the conversation? And did he seem receptive to that, or is that something that's even being considered or going to be considered?
He
or
seemed,
where are we at
well,
with that?
I don't know whether he was totally receptive to it, but he did indicate that Mr. Elko would probably be going out to talk to the neighbors to get their feeling on whether the island should be removed, or they would prefer to have the parking restrictions with the island remaining.
So, yeah, so that's why I wanted to at least bring this up, so we could kind of get this out in the open instead of just having it hanging out there. And, I'm sorry, so, excuse me, so I guess that still needs to be touched upon, is if this cul-de-sac will be removed, correct? Or if the parking will be removed?
That's an issue that has to be resolved between the city and the developer in the plan development agreement.
Okay, so if we were to go with the option of removing the cul-de-sac,
You mean the island?
yeah, sorry, thank you. That would have to go back to the planning commission, I would assume, correct?
No,
Or
it does not.
necessarily? Okay.
As I understand, it's an off-site improvement. It does not require an amendment to to the site plan that was approved at the last council meeting. What we would do is figure out what we're going to do with respect to that island, and then formalize that through the plan development agreement, which will be coming before council before it's finalized.
I'd like to go on record. I've already submitted email notice to a member of council with my vote, if I have a vote in this matter. And I don't know if my other neighbors have done that yet or not, but the
All that
poll,
stuff was forwarded to everybody on this board.
right, so I'd like to go on record that we are all in favor of removing the island and forego putting no parking signs for
When
obvious
Mr.
reasons.
Elkow comes to your house, you can make him aware of that. He's going to.
Okay, but who's my, who's my strength here? I mean, is the city my strength? I mean, I know the developer's not. The developer's only worried about how much money he puts in his pocket. So I need someone on our side.
Well, I'm certainly on your side, so, I mean, the majority of people on that cul-de-sac would like to see that removed so they can have their own parking. So that's what I'm going to be pushing for, so.
Well, I appreciate it. I mean, that's, that's where, there's four of us affected. I know three of us want it removed, and one was like maybe putting like a smaller boulevard-type island, but that, I don't think would make any sense.
No, if you're talking about removing the island, I would say just take it, I don't know if that's
completely.
really going to resolve the issue, tell you the truth.
Right.
You guys have a pretty thin cul-de-sac as it is. And,
Get rid of that, and it's as wide, it's much wider than the street is, so
Yeah, well-
that solves the problem. Right.
Yeah, as long as you feel comfortable with that, that's, but again, we gotta have our planner involved in that,
I mean, we're going to have to put up with a lot more, I mean, all kinds of traffic now that we never had before. And it makes sense to me not to have them coming around like on a curb, basically, and remove the center, which will make it easier for the new residents and emergency vehicles.
I looked at it as like a little roundabout. It might have slowed traffic down, but then again, it would be too tight to have parking there too. I
Oh, I've seen
understand
how
the-
teenagers can drive, so.
Snowplow can't even make it. They took a big chunk out of our
That's my wife, Beth.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
I wanted to echo what he said. I have two family members that have severe debilitating disease, and it's not going to get better. It's permanent, and I don't want to see the parking affected either, on either cul-de-sacs.
All right, in favor of tabling this?
Postpone to our
Propose.
next meeting. That was the motion.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Consider contracting with New Directions Behavioral Health to provide an employee assistance program to city employees.
I will start this, and then I will turn it over to Michelle Bolzer, who is the city's insurance agent. This is an employee assistance program. What it does is it provides mental health, financial, and legal benefits to city employees. The reason I'm bringing it to the council is in the short time that I have been with the city, I have had to find outside resources for 3 of our employees already that would have been able to seek assistance through an employee assistance program. I think it's a very good idea for the city to have this. It's a low-cost benefit. It costs $2.38 per month for employees and provides all city employees with a great opportunity for assistance. And with that, I will turn it over to Michelle to better explain it and answer any questions the council may have.
My name is Michelle Bolser. I'm with Griffin Smalley Wilkerson, and I've been the insurance agent for the city for the last 5 years. As Lynn had mentioned, the EAP is actually a very popular benefit in all industries. We insure other municipalities, we do private sector, do public sector. And what this does is this provides a vehicle for your employees 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to have a resource available to them anonymously, where they can go for things such as grief counseling, depression, maybe financial troubles, and they're seeking services, and who do I go to? Elder care is a big deal with a lot of people now, and a lot of us are having to face elder care issues with our parents, but don't really know where to begin. So no matter what the problem is, how small it may be, how large it may seem, what New Directions does is not only provides, again, 24-hour a day, 7 days a week, somebody who is at least master's level up to a doctoral level, PhD in terms of counseling services. It also supplies 6 in-person visits for each employee for any type of condition they have throughout the year. So they may be suffering the loss of a loved one and need some grief counseling. They're able to see a counselor 6 times in person, no cost to them, but then maybe 6 months later they're experiencing a divorce or some other type of condition or situation that they're going through. That resets. They get 6 more of those visits. As Lynn said, the cost relative to most benefits is very nominal, $2.38 per employee per month, so about $30 per employee per year. They also have web resources. There are tools that can be used that if there are problems that are coming up or patterns that are emerging within certain departments, webinars can be used, training materials and modules are used to assist, all incorporated in that $2.38. So that's the realm of what the EAP is. It's a very popular benefit, and there have been some cases I know that it would have been very handy recently to have something like that.
I didn't
Hey,
understand.
just a moment.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You had a
I
question?
did, thank you. I'm in favor of EAP. I think they're very useful. But I'm noticing that the New Directions is located in Kansas City, Missouri.
Yep.
Do they have offices here in South Lyon?
They have actually networks nationwide, so they have a lot of national customers. So no, they don't have any offices here locally, what would happen is a person calls in to get a referral, and then the provider base is searched for them, and they put them in touch with someone in their community. So providers are nationwide.
So they have a list of all the resources that are here in southeastern Michigan?
Absolutely,
And
yes.
that's where they'll make referrals to?
Yep.
And they have agreements whether they will accept those referrals?
Correct. Yep, they're going to be used, so they're under contract, meaning no cost to the employee themselves.
Okay.
Yep.
That answers my question. Thank you.
I just didn't quite understand, maybe I wasn't listening. So they have 6 face-to-face visits with one issue, but if they have another issue within the same year, it's another 6 visits?
Yeah, they get it resets for a
Okay,
different
so-
condition.
So for
Yep.
each condition?
Yep.
Okay, that's what I didn't understand.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
So if you're a hot mess, you could end up spending.
You might be going all the time.
You keep going and going.
Anybody else?
I had that same question as Harvey, you know.
Sure.
I had looked up that there's local providers with this kind of program, and she satisfied my interest that these guys are well-served in Michigan.
All right, I'll make the motion then to approve the contract with New Directions Behavioral Health to provide an employee assistance program to our city employees.
Support.
Okay, further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed?
Thank you.
Consider resolution designating the South Lyon High School Men's Varsity Swim and Dive Booster Club as a community charitable organization. Actually, they had quite a packet they threw in here. We have done this in the past for other organizations within the high schools. And it's something they need to have from us to be able to do fundraising.
Yes, they are planning a raffle this spring, and we have Sandra from the Dive Association here tonight to answer any questions you may have.
Harvey?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm trying to figure from the material I read, are both high schools included in this association? Or
Yes,
just
this
one?
is a joint team. of-
Okay, so it's a
of-
joint team.
Yes, it is.
So I was wondering then why the name of the organization isn't schools plural?
It should be schools, plural.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that going to
South
be,
Lyon High Schools.
because it's on your Bank of America statement and everything
It
else
should
says
be
school.
plural. Yeah, it should be plural.
Okay.
Do you, have you approached Lyon Township too? Because the other school's in Lyon Township. Do you have to have their approval?
Not that I'm aware of, it's the city of South Lyon, it says the local governing body, so we're appealing to the city of South Lyon.
I mean, if you're going to be okay with that, I don't have to see a problem, but I hope it doesn't make a catch in your plans.
I don't think it will, but
What do you use as an address when you send your stuff in? Is
it'll be, I'm the booster president, so I live in South Lyon.
city proper?
Yes.
That's,
But I mean, the 501c3, where is that registered?
We're not a 501c3.
Oh, you're not?
That was the point.
They're not a 501c3, which is why they have to come in front of you to be recognized as a charitable organization.
Well, where will that address be?
It'll be her address.
My address is.
Oh, your home address, okay.
Yep.
All right, well then, us being the body should be right, yeah.
I'm willing to make the motion.
okay.
I'll move to approve the proposed resolution recognizing South Lyon High School's Men's Varsity Swim and Dive Boosters Club as a community charitable organization.
I'll support.
Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed?
It was easier than filling out all this paperwork, wasn't
Thank
it?
you.
Okay, we can move on to, consider an appointment for the South Lyon Housing Commission. We did have a verbal resignation, and it's actually, the minutes weren't ready yet, but it is in the minutes of the Housing Commission that they accepted the resignation of Claude Danielson from this South Lyon Housing Commission. And we have a Samantha Murray of 61365 Creekview Drive of South Lyon willing to step in. And fill, they meet roughly 3 to 4 times a year, so it's not too strenuous, I don't think. But anyway, she stepped in and was willing to fill that spot.
I'll make the motion.
to approve Samantha Murray to the Housing Commission.
I'll support it.
For discussion?
I know Samantha Murray, she'll do a good job.
Oh, that sounds great. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Consider approval of letter of understanding between the City of South Lyon and the AFSCME CBA related to primary, secondary employment within the City of South Lyon.
This sounds much more difficult than it actually is. As you may know, we have been looking to hire for the Water Department and the Public Works Department. And we have an employee that the Water Department would like to hire that is also a member of our voluntary fire department. In order to make sure that we don't have any grievances within any of our unions, we sat down with the AFSCME union, that is the collective bargaining unit for water and public works, and negotiated an agreement. Actually didn't take much. It was pretty clear-cut, and now we just need the council to approve it. It basically outlines when he can leave on calls during regular business hours, which are from 7 a.m. to 3:30, and outlines when he can take calls when he's on call on the weekends or other times. Just getting those details laid out. It also states that under the exemption that exists for state and local governments, he will not get paid overtime for over 40 hours when he's on the fire department, because the fire department is considered to be a voluntary and a, what do they call it? Occasional and sporadic employment, because there are no set hours, and so it falls under an FLSA exemption. So it doesn't automatically qualify for overtime, so the city's protected there.
It's nice that common sense can prevail in this discussion, so with that, I'd like to make the motion, we approve the letter of understanding between the City of South Lyon and AFSCME collective bargaining unit regarding this.
I'll support that.
For discussion, Mike?
Yeah, do we have to do this on every occasion?
No, this letter of understanding is a generic one. The only time we would have to approve it is for other collective bargaining
Okay,
units.
all right, that was my question, all right. Thanks.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? All right, consider purchase of a 2015 F-350 Super Cab pickup with a snowplow. You want to talk about it, Bob?
Yes, thank you. About a month ago, I was here and we approved the purchase of a new F-350 pickup for the Water Department. I'm back this evening to try to secure approval for the purchase of not only an F-350 pickup truck with a 9-foot V-plow pickup truck, but also a F-350 cab chassis with a stainless steel dump box for the DPW. I put in the council packet there, the inventory of our vehicles. We have some old ones. We're trying to replenish it, get up to speed a little bit. We were initially going to buy a large salt truck this year. Those prices escalated even more than what was in the
Budget.
budget, so we decided Plan B was a good effect here, so we can pick up 2 trucks here. We got a small bidding war occurring between us. We've been purchasing recently from Varsity, but Heinz Park, when they saw the last couple of trucks go to Varsity, came in relatively low and beat Varsity, and so both trucks, low bid, were with Heinz Park Ford, which is in our backyard over here. So the F-350 Super Cab pickup, for a price of $32,415. And the F-350 dump with center plow and salt spreader will be $59,165. And that also includes the stainless steel dump box that will be installed by Napa High Truck Supply.
I was kind of curious, the stainless steel as opposed to an aluminum box, what was the rationale for that?
We've had real good luck with the stainless steel, and I'll tell you why.
It's a big price bump though, isn't it?
Yeah, but let me tell you, the other thing is, it's stronger when you start dumping concrete and stuff like that into it. It's more reinforced, and we have just found that a much better product for us, so.
The stainless steel also holds up better against the salt when you've got a salt spreader on it.
Bob, these two new purchases are gonna replace that large dump truck, the 94. Are you at some point gonna want another large dump truck
Next year,
next year?
or the year after. We,
What, just so I'm clear, what, eventually what trucks will these two new ones replace on your inventory?
the two right now?
Yeah.
Well, if, I spoke to it in here that, if you look at the inventory sheet there, what page was that on? What I am putting out on the eBay right now is the 1994 International Large Dump. So that's gonna drop, that is out of the fleet right now. It's been parked out at the water plant, and we just recently put that on eBay. So we're just adding another pickup truck and a small dump, but down the road, we're gonna have to purchase another large dump for, with a belly blade and for large snow plowing,
Okay.
okay?
That site that typically stuff is put on, is that not a good place to try to move a truck like that, international?
What, that eBay?
No, the site that, I mean, like Lloyd puts his cars on.
That's what I meant. That's the,
Okay.
where we're putting it.
All right.
And I'll level with you. Tube Mill's real interested in that truck for keeping it in their yard. It wouldn't be taken out on the road. Tube Mill's done an awful lot of good for the city over the years, and I floated a number at them a while back, and they agreed to it, but I know we have to put this out to a public bid, so.
Okay.
I'll make the motion to purchase the the 2015 F-350 Super Cab pickup, and also the spreader and
Wow.
the plow. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
So we're buying two though, right?
Yeah,
I
that's
just
only
want-
one
both of
truck
them,
you
okay.
spoke of.
Right.
Both.
He doesn't want to hog all of it.
Mike,
Somebody
yeah,
else
go
can
ahead.
motion another one.
Those are expensive
Hold the
trucks, so go
blade.
ahead.
Was there a second?
Yeah, I'll second that. And this is for the bid from Heinz Park, or Hind Park?
That is correct.
Okay. Yeah, I'll second that.
Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Then I'll make the second motion then to approve the purchase of a 2015 F-350 dump with plow and salt spreader for the bid of $59,065.80 from Hind Park Ford.
I'll support.
Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're gonna have salt for that? We're okay on our salt supply?
We're fine.
Just as a little aside, Tim Sullivan is an old family friend. He's about half the size as I remember him when I was a little boy.
We have a lot of salt, and we have been locked in with our pricing. for
Well, I
quite a
know,
while.
you always were ahead of the game on that.
Yeah, and we're getting salt right now for $44 a ton, which in today's world's a real bargain.
Yeah.
But we're gonna be very miserly with it. So,
You're still making the brine?
yep, yep. we
People
sure
will see the truck going down the road and this stream of water coming out of it it's a salt mixture. Sometimes they anticipate the storm and hopefully can cut down on some of the slippage before it gets too, obviously when it gets 3, 4, 5 inches of snow, the brine's not gonna work for that, but
Yep.
when it was, half-inch kind of stuff is coming in, it really helps you hit the intersections mostly, don't you? Or
Oh, yeah.
some of the main drags,
So, and, yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Corners, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Do we do it at the Four Corners downtown too? Even though it's not our territory?
Probably.
Because of that grade?
I mean, we were with the street cleaner downtown doing the Four Corners today, so.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. If we do that, we can do this. All right, managers report.
I have three things tonight. Wanted to inform the council that I have been appointed to the Chamber of Commerce Board for a 3-year term starting in January. I will be out of the office for the rest of the week, celebrating the Thanksgiving holiday with my family. My daughter and father are in town for the week, and I will be staying with them. But I will be available by phone and email if you need anything. And And lastly, I would like to ask for permission to attend the Michigan Local Government Managers Winter Institute in Novi, January 27th to the 30th.
In Novi?
In Novi. I would just be commuting every day.
I have no objection.
I have no objection.
No, no.
You're going to stay at the Hilton just down the street, right?
I'll be commuting from
I don't see that. With you trying to improve yourself and how it improves us, and we appreciate your efforts.
And that's all I have this evening.
Okay. Bev?
Just want to wish everybody happy Thanksgiving.
Okay. Mike?
Same thing, and that's all I have tonight.
Harvey?
Same thing. And I wanted to ask Bob how we're doing on leaf pickup. Are we still doing that since we had a snow?
Mine blew away today.
What?
Mine blew away today.
I'm glad you asked, Harvey. We're going to clean every leaf in the city. We didn't anticipate snow overriding the leaves, but you got to understand, we have 28 miles of curb line in the city, and a good portion of that 28 miles has leaves raked out to it. We have one leaf vacuum, we have 2 crews out there working. Public, rest assured, every leaf will be picked up, and when the leaves are picked up, we're going to clean all your snow too, okay?
Thank you.
Kept mine in the neighbors.
It's already their lawn.
Okay, Glenn?
Happy Thanksgiving.
Aaron?
Bob, how's the sewage tube progress? Anything?
The manhole.
Tube.
The manhole.
The manhole.
Oh, thank you. I've never heard it called a sewage tube, but that, all right. We've received 2 bids. I was hoping to have all 3 by today. One last company's coming tomorrow to look at it. The prices are exactly within range, exactly what we feel. And the 2 that we have in-house right now, 2 different ideas of how to attack it. One guy wants to put 2 new manholes in, the other guy just wants to refurbish with 1, which has worked fine. So once all 3 are in, we will sit down, make our very educated decision on it, and we'll bring it back to the council before we do anything.
And all the 2 companies were fine with weather?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
They'll lay a graveyard heat blanket out there so they can keep the dirt soft.
I could use one of those on my sites.
Joe?
Oh, I just wanted to congratulate the Cultural Arts Commission for bringing this Inside Out program. Well, I know they're gone, but to the public as well. It's great to see this come into our community, and as the mayor said, there's only a handful of communities that were selected, so I think it's a good step for us. Thank you.
Just messing with you.
I'd asked the question to our reporter, see if she knew about a chamber director. Do you know any more?
I know they're still seeking one, but I don't know if they've got one hired.
Okay, who's running the Cool Yule?
Sandy Stewart.
Yes.
Sandy's doing that, bless her heart. That is coming up December 6th, Cool Yule. That's the night parade, and there's also things during the day. I'm sure I never did receive a list of everything. It was a lot of stuff went on last year, but I know from 11 to 2:30 at the South Line Bicycle Shop, they're having reindeer and Santa, and you can actually touch the reindeer, pet them or so forth. The Boy Scouts at the end of the Cool Yule Parade at the Freight House in the Witch's Hat area. They've been doing this the last few years. They sell homemade cookies by the pound. You're able to walk around, pick all the ones you want, and you get a styrofoam carrier and fill it up, and you pay for them by the pound. And that's been a very nice feature for there. And of course, Santa will be in the parade, and he will answer to all the kids' demands. Is it, Bob, would you know, is it in the schoolhouse or where they're doing that?
I really don't have a clue.
Oh, okay, just wherever Santa lands.
Santa was going to be in the gazebo.
No, it's in the schoolhouse.
Santa's gonna
Because
I
there's,
have it on-
Wherever the fire department drops them off, right?
Wherever the kids stop us.
yeah, yeah.
Santa's gonna be
And
cold in this.
a lot of festivities on the back porch of the,
Yeah, so we'd like to also note that we're always looking for entries, the lighted entries in the parade. You could call City Hall if you need to get any more information on it. That phone number is a 248-437-1735. I think the city clerk would be glad to help you out on that. Lynn Ladner. And with that, let's see, the VFW, I believe East High School is having a spaghetti afternoon there, spaghetti dinners will be going on there. So I'm sure I've missed some people that will be doing stuff, but hopefully you'll see some flyers or so forth around that will give you some answers. Well, that's true, the Kiwanis, they're having the trees there, yep.
American Legion provides the color guard for the parade.
All right.
Candy Cane Drive, Ted, while we're all jumping in.
And then at 10 o'clock in the morning, candy cane chase, or whatever you want to call it. It's like an Easter egg hunt, but it's candy canes. And you thought Easter egg hunts were fast. You ought to see a Christmas one. They're cold and they're running, and they're all over the place. And it's just amazing, the people that show up for that. It's just, we're definitely a growing area. Okay, with that, we are going to have to ask the rest of the folks here, we're going to have a closed session, so our meeting is over with as far as any of the business.
Need a
So a
motion.
motion to go to a closed session.
I'll move that we go into a closed session to discuss a legal opinion provided by our city attorney.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Before we-
Do you want the 8H thing?
Roll
gotta be
call,
roll call.
okay.
Roll call.
The
Roll call
8H
vote.
part, Tim?
That was mentioned during the agenda.
Yes.
Yes. Joe?
Yes. I didn't hear you, sorry.
Yes.
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 That ends this council televised portion of approximately 45 minutes.